Today we dig deep into the MAFEX line with this. No, we don't. Today we take $105 and take a... Today we find out if MAFEX is really worthy of $105 for this Jean Grey. And it cost me $0 thanks to Medicom Toys. Go check his channel out, especially if you like Masters of the Universe. And I do have to send this thing back when I'm done with it. But we're gonna take a look at this Jean Grey from MAFEX versus this Marvel Legends from Hasbro. Get out of here. Looking at the front of the box, we've got a great shot of what's to be expected inside the box. So you got 3 head sculpts, a body, a something or other. You got a bunch of hands, some effects, and then it's clearly comic inspired, which I do like, in its comic version. The only thing that's thrown me off with Marvel stuff looking at the MAFEX line is the shiny stuff. And the Wolverine does that, and I just don't know how I feel about it. But let's take a look at the rest of the packaging. It's definitely comic book inspired on the box. I love that. It's got a Jim Lee look to it, which I dig. And then you get a bunch of stuff at the bottom. Yeah, okay. Back of the box, you got lots of figure shots. It tells you all the alternates, and I guess there's that what that thing is. It's her hairpiece pulled down. Cool, let's open it and then figure it out that way. So while it might not be perfectly fair to compare a $25 Marvel Legends to this incredible looking figure for $105, there are some things that we need to break down when we compare them. Also, might not be fair to compare the cartoon animated design versus this comic design. Anyway, it's the best we got. It's really just finding out if this thing is worthy of its value, or if it has value. Is it worthy of its price? There we go. Now, in the box, it has this little thing, paper, just don't care. You get a stand, which is pretty awesome, and it actually comes with 2 claws, a crotch grabber, the old reach around as we call it here, the base, and this kind of staple arm versus a pull. I don't know. So let's just jump in. We got a lot to look at. Let's start with her her telekinesis effect, which looks really awesome. And it comes on this stand with the hands sculpted into it. So this is a really, really smart way to do it. So you have the hand molded into the effect rather than an effect that you have to attach and make it look a little weird. But it actually just, the fact that it comes with a Vex is great because guess who doesn't? Almost everything Marvel Legends. And then you get this piece which is going to be going around her neck when you use that one specific head. So it's nice to have that. It's, you know, a little more casual Jean Grey. Then you get this angry expression which comes complete with new neck, which is interesting. So the neck, the head, the hair sculpt, the sculpt work is fantastic. The paintwork looks good. I don't necessarily have any issues with that. I think this is nice. This is very nice. It's just the shiny blue that I'm not totally set on. And then you get casual everyday Jean Grey, which would be nice if there was like another body out there you could put this on to have, like, you know, casual, just in a jacket and a shirt or something. With the hands, you get these, which you're gonna get a left and right. So she's using her little powers from her brain space. And then you get these, which are a little more flat, but they're kind of the same. So this is more like I'm using something to put up a telekinetic wall to stop something from happening. I don't know. And then you get these for punching because she is an X-Man and she's got to punch people right in their gonads. Looking at the main figure itself, comes with all this plastic on there to keep it from getting scuffed up in the box, which is good. Look at those details. This is a really good looking figure. I gotta hand it to MAFEX. You know, I've been saying it for a long time that MAFEX would be the way to do it if you want a good core group of X-Men figures to just get one MAFEX instead of buying like 10 Marvel Legends. But do I still feel the same way? I don't know. With their new technology, look at this face. The digital painting technique that they have now for Marvel Legends is actually really, really good. At least at, you know, from a distance. But this is certainly more cartoony versus comic book, so I don't know. And she's got a fine build, but certainly she was lacking. She didn't have a whole lot going on in the torso for articulation. So it's a good $25 figure, and you didn't get a lot of accessories. You got an alternate head, and you got 2 hands, no effects. She's really basic. It's just kind of like, you know, you pick this up and you're like, all right, well, I own this now. Where with this MAFEX figure, you actually get a lot of you get a lot of playability. That's the word I should use, because she comes with all these different expressions and effects and things. So look at all of these accessories and a stand, so you can do all kinds of good stuff with her. And when you compare a Marvel Legends base figure for $25, you don't get a lot of stuff. So maybe you got to go to somebody like Can of Beams and spend, I don't know, 25, 30 bucks to get some effects. Then you need a stand, which is going to be on average probably $20. So by the time you get this and you still don't have as many head sculpts, you don't have as many hands, you're getting pretty close to a MAFEX already. So I think this is kind of a no-brainer. Yes, you should buy MAFEX if you want things to be comic book accurate. But let's continue looking at this thing. So the sculpt work looks pretty good. It's standard with a lot of imports. They have these ball joints on the wrists, so you get basically any direction you want. I'm a huge fan of this layout. The articulation is kind of through the roof on this thing, especially when you compare it to Marvel Legends. So even though her hair, it gets in the way so she can't look up, but every other direction you could possibly want, you're gonna get. Now the arms, the shoulders have great articulation. The pads move with it, so you can go all the way around, bicep, double jointed elbows, ball joints on the wrist. Then you get this diaphragm or whatever articulation, which is really great. And the waist articulation seems to be just okay. So it goes back pretty good, not a lot forward, but overall with all the levels of articulation, it's great. Now, one thing I have to say is that she is very, very loose, which is a little bit concerning on the upper half because she is heavy with that hair. And I'm a little bit worried about how well this section's gonna hold up. Now, onto the legs. She's got ball joints, which means they can pretty much go wherever you want them. Double jointed knees and ball joints on the ankles, which is great. And then, one of my favorite things, toe articulation, which is fantastic. So great for toy photographers. You really wanna get an awesome look. This is the way to do it. So let's take that head off, see how things work here since it's all neck and everything, and put this casual one on. Don't forget the little extra piece. There we go, look at that. Looks pretty good. Not too bad. It's still just having a problem with that heavy upper torso. Now, because of her hair, there's definitely gonna be some limitations of the posing that you can get with her, which is kind of a bummer, especially when it's sculpted like this, because when you move it too far, then it's just weird looking. But that's just a character thing and with action figures in general, so that makes it, you know, hard unless you do the ponytail look, which is like this. But this is an awesome figure, and I think if you really want comic looking stuff, this is definitely the way to go. So is the MAFEX Jean Grey worth buying? Yes. Especially because of all the parts you get in there. With the stand and everything, it really builds up its value that you would end up spending on other parts for Marvel Legends figures. And you'd still be incomplete because you can't just buy extra hands for your Marvel Legends. If you like the animated series, that's your jam, then I think you gotta wait and go with my favorite line for the animated series, Mondo. And yeah, I know, they're big. They're real big. They're, well, she's like 9.5 inches, so the others are all like 12 and higher. Nobody can compare to Mondo. These things are absolutely stunning, and this is the one figure I would say on my shelf that I constantly am in awe of when I look at it or pick it back up and go, wow, this is just such a great figure. Excellent work from everybody involved. If you want comic book accurate and you're stuck with doing 1/12 scale stuff, then yeah, I think this is still a great figure, and you should probably grab one if you can, because these things keep getting sold out and re-released. Anyway, if you enjoyed this and you like X-Men stuff, then click the top link there. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.